Hello, hello, guys. I hope you can all hear me. The stream is going to start in a minute or two. I'm just checking just to make sure that the sound is on because this is the first time I've actually used in, in the book because I had to set up a laptop, I had to set up a webcam, and I had to set up my. I can see Demon Collects. Thank you so much. Yes, on the 1,000 subs, I really appreciate it. Okay, I can hear. Thank you for the congratulations. It's really awesome. It was quite a surprise. I think about 3 months ago, I had 300 subscribers, and I was getting maybe really well what people really responded to. I started in a bit more on shorts because that seems to be how YouTube is going. They want you to do shorts. They want you to do shorter content, and all the Lightning Collection remastered figures. We get up to 1,000. For this year was actually to get to 500. So I'm really thankful the last couple of months because the support has been really incredible. And yeah, so like I said, I'd like to subscribe. My next goal is to get my viewing like minutes up because that's kind of like the next goal in YouTube is to get my viewing time up to over 4,000 hours within 1 year, and I think we're currently at 907. We can kind of kill two birds with one stone. The stream to celebrate the 1,000 subs night is to maybe stream for about an hour. I have these figures to open up. I've had them in the backlog for ages, and I actually my first stream I ever did was opening up the red, black, pink, and blue ranges of these. And then I actually found these when I was on a trip to Rome. The Ranger Slayer because spoilers. I opened up the Ranger Slayer Lightning Collection figure today on as a review. The review's going out in a couple of weeks, and it's an awesome figure. So I wish I'd picked up the Ranger Slayer as well, or Kimberly as she's called here. But we have white, we have yellow, and we have green. White and yellow are obviously for me as kind of like a Tommy kind of weeb, the most attractive figures. But I also have the original ones here. So we have Billy, and if you don't know what these figures are, you're probably thinking, why do they look like fridges with heads on? They are kind of modern throwbacks to the classic flip head figures. So when I was a kid, when I was like, I don't know, probably 4 or 5, my life revolved around. Actually, give me 1 second. I'll go and find them. So yeah, my life revolved around these original flip heads. So you can see, yeah, they aren't my original ones. I actually rebought these off eBay like a couple of years ago. But yeah, my whole childhood was revolved around these toys. Like I had all of them. I had like this one is Zach. I had the Zach version. I had the Adam version. There was metallic versions. I had the Aisha and Trini version. I think this is Trini. Yeah. Yes, I think it is. It's kind of hard to tell. Yeah, I think that's Trini. I had all of them, and my life kind of revolved around them. And of course, my favorite was Tommy. And I still really wish that Hasbro would do Lightning Collection with these brands on the front. I don't know if these are kind of like to do with more to do with the movie. And I know for the movie there is some kind of licensing problems. I don't think Hasbro has the license to make toys for the 1995 movie, but I really wish they would do something like this with Lightning Collection. I know there is some Etsy stores in the US that actually sell like kind of like stuff that you put it in water and then you can slide it off and it's like a sticker to put on your Lightning Collection. But they to get to ship to Europe is a bit of a problem. But yeah, I really want Lightning Collection to, if they come back after their break, I really want the Lightning Collection to come back and give us some just the regular remastered figures, but with these on, and I will definitely pay again for them because, yeah, they're just very nostalgic. So yeah, these were the originals, and then a few years ago, Hasbro kind of remade them. So we have here Billy, and you can see, yeah, they remade them for some reason. Like they made them very wide. I don't know why. Like I said, they look like a bit like a fridge with a head on, but they still have for me the same nostalgia, and they have nice head sculpts. They have quite nice articulation. Like they kind of have a joint going out here. They have like a single pinned elbow. They have the very reminiscent kind of claw hand to hold the weapons, which you can see is quite hard to actually get in there. Go on, get in. Yeah, the weapons, and yeah, they're pretty nice. Like they're kind of cheap. For me, they're very nostalgic, and they're actually way better than I thought they were going to be. Even the knee, the bottom has a swivel, the leg has a swivel, so you can get them into some funny poses. The head doesn't move though. But yeah, this was the first ever stream I did, like probably a year ago. I opened up these, so that one is Billy. We have Tommy here. Sorry, not Tommy, Jason. So, okay, we can show you Jason's head. He look again. Hasbro does a really good job, I think, of getting this. I can't remember this actor's name. What's he called? Austin something. But they're really good at making his head sculpt, especially for this and for the Lightning collection. But here is Jason, and again has very basic articulation, but quite nice for these figures. Then we have Zach and his big axe. Just give me 1 second, guys. I'm having some internet problems. If there are any issues with the stream or the sound or anything, please do let me know in the chat. Otherwise, hopefully everything works and it's going well. Here is, like I said, Zach, and again, Zach has quite a nice kind of like cartoony but very obvious Zach head with his big axe, which you can even, I think you can rotate it to hold, or maybe not quite how you would want, but still pretty nice. Then finally, from this first version, we have Kimberly. Looking pretty in pink. I actually had a shot of this one, got like not viral, but I think it got like 16,000 views, because I said everyone knows this was your first crush, and everyone was like, why would I have a crush on this thing? And kind of, yeah, I think a lot of people missed the joke that for most boys in their 30s, Kimberly was their first crush. Yeah, if she was your first crush, let me know. She was definitely one of mine. I think it was Kimberly, and I also had a weird crush on one of the androids from Dragon Ball Z, Android 18, I think, whichever one was a female one. And yeah, then we have some blasters, again, just very basic white plastic blasters. So again, they're very nostalgic and reminiscent of the 90s ones, but they do have some upgrades. And yeah, like I said, the plan is to open up these. The stream should end in around 50 minutes. Let's see if we're having fun. Maybe I can give you some sneak peeks into what Monday's review is going to be, because it's something a little bit different. But if not, then yeah, we'll end the stream there. And yeah, like I said, I love these figures. They are very nostalgic, especially the box, and it really pains me. I don't know, there's something about these like carded figures. Like there's these, and there's the Marvel Legends Spider-Man retro carded ones, what I think they're called, where I'm like, I cannot bring myself to rip them off. But whatever, as good as they look, we're here to open toys. It is a shame, because I do like the box stuff, but I wouldn't have a very interesting review channel if I just showed you them in the box. But this is how they come, nicely packed and kind of preserved in the plastic with the White Ranger. I might just move these two just out the way a little bit, just so we have a clear background so you can see him clearly. And yeah, like I said, I found these in a store in Rome. Sorry if it's loud. in Rome. This is going to be in, that's how it works. Okay, so it still is obviously a flip head. I was thinking it's going to be interesting to see how the flip head works. We have kind of like serious looking Tommy here with the hair slicked back nicely into the ponytail there. And you can see here, they actually managed to put the diamonds on underneath the shield. His face, I don't know if you can see it so clearly, and it's kind of hard because they're very plasticky, the faces, so the light reflects off them. But he almost looks like he's got a dirty face, which is weird. Well, like yeah, like it's dirty, but if you look at the resemblance, you can tell it's definitely Tommy. And then we go to the flip, and this one is a little bit hard to get the head to come out because the button isn't quite as easy to press as the other morphers. But then we have the helmet, and the helmet looks really, really nice. Like it's nicely kind of like molded on there. It's not just paint, like the eyes, it's a little bit deeper into the plastic than the rest. We have the black glossy paint on the visor. So again, you can kind of see there the reflection of the light from my lamps. Really, really nice. Then if we look at the shield itself, yeah, I mean, it does everything that you need it to. It has the Tiger logo on here, the black and gold. And like you saw, it just simply slips over his head. Very, very nice. And again, we have the details that you would expect, kind of the gold and black band. You have the belt and the pattern from the belt buckle, gold and a golden belt and holster there going down to his legs. Again, just simplified gold bands around his feet. And yeah, again, if we're going to articulation, so like I said, they do have quite a nice bit of articulation, especially, I mean, the originals also had to be honest, the articulation is pretty much the same as the originals, apart from the legs don't open, and there's no swivel here. But yeah, so you can get the arm up over his head because it goes out quite far. It has a single jointed elbow. There's nothing obviously on the waist apart from you can make him look down like this. The legs go out really far, like he can do like the Jean-Claude Van Damme pose on a chair, which is quite funny. And they go, like I guess you saw when I bent him over, they go up like this, then they come back and bend back to here, and they do have a bit of swivel. There's nothing on the foot. But yeah, it'd be interesting. Maybe we get like a range of the viewer or the chat's age, if you guys remember these figures, or if you collected them. Do you have any nostalgic memories? Because like I said, for me, these were from I don't know, maybe 4 till 8. These were pretty much my childhood. These and Action Men. If you're British and old like me, then you might remember Action Men. If you do, let me know, because that's one thing where I think like, you see all these brands coming back, and one that I've not seen yet, and I'm kind of surprised hasn't come back, is Action Men. And if you don't know what Action Men were, I think they were slightly bigger. They were like probably 112. No, Lightning Collections 112. They were like 1/6 scale army men, basically like a bigger version of G.I. Joe and British, and they also had all of these themes about like one was a scuba diver, one was a spy, one was one drove a Jeep, and they were more or less all of the same character, just in different clothes. And I had so many of them as a kid. It was Action Men and Power Rangers, and obviously Power Rangers still live on, but I don't know if Action Men exists anymore. So if you know, let me know, because if it doesn't, I think it would be like rife for it would be rife to bring it back and just see if there's enough nostalgia for people to buy them. Because like I was looking today, I was kind of like, I had to hold myself back. There is a company now making Biker Mice from Mars figures. And the first time I saw them, they kind of reminded me of these. They were like very kind of square and blocky and just didn't look that appealing. But they've now updated them with more articulation, more accessories, and they look really cool. And I think they're priced around like $35 each or €35 each. So I was thinking, I used to love biker mice from Mars. I was like, they're teasing all of the bikes as well. I think the bikes are 50. And I'm like, ooh, should I put in a pre-order? Because they're like, oh, there's a special deal. You can pre-order all of them for 100 euros or $100. And I was like, yeah, maybe. But I stopped myself because I was like, before I finish the story, what do you want to see next? Do you want to see yellow or green? There's, in my opinion, only one correct answer. But for you, chat, I'm willing to make a change from what I would usually choose because, yeah, let's see what chat wants. Yeah, so I was kind of like, yes, Mega Demon, you are on the right side of history there. Thank you. Yeah, so I had to stop myself because, yeah, 100 euros worth of toy figures plus another like what was it, 150 worth of motorcycles. I was like, all right, let's take a step back. So for Mega Demon, we are gonna open up green. That was the choice I would have done too, because it's cliche, but green has always been my favorite. I don't know why it is. Like maybe it's the same for you, Mega Demon. Like the Green Ranger was just something kind of special or just different, I guess, back in the day. If you're that old, of course. But yeah, it was just kind of like the different ones. Started off as a bad guy. Started off as a bad guy, and turned to the good side. But he was just always the one that looked the most interesting, even compared to white. Like I still think green is way cooler. Like white is cool, and I think it's because from the Sentai, you can tell this one is from a different team because it's similar but not. It's not dinosaur themed. I mean, he's not dinosaur themed either. To be fair, he's I guess a dragon. But you know what I mean. He fits in with the rest of the team. Yeah, I have quite a few Green Rangers now. The one I missed out on was the what is it? The Mezco one, which Mezco, like it looks so good. Like I kind of have regret that I didn't buy it in the end. But again, it came down to cost, not so much of the figure, but of the postage. So like the figure I think cost like $99 or something like that. But then to get it posted to, I live in Vienna, in Austria. To get it posted to Austria cost another $50, and I was like, am I really gonna pay half the price of the figure to get it posted over? And there was no real like option to sort of be like, all right, I want to bundle up like a few figures. So like if in the next year I buy 5 figures from Mezco and then they send all 5 in one box and I only have to pay for postage once, I couldn't find any real option to do that. So I kind of was like, yeah, no, I'm gonna leave it. I don't need it. And then I saw the reviews come out. I saw the figure itself, and I was like, damn, I should have bought it. But yeah, it is what it is. They are releasing a white one soon, so maybe I will pick up the white one. But the green one looks really nice. And again, this green one, he still looks like a fridge, and you can see the difference there in the Tommy head sculpts. If we take off this helmet. Again, so white Tommy was more leader, like serious Tommy. Green Tommy was always more kind of cool, the bad boy, I guess, at school with his hair, and that's kind of shown. And you can see that a lot in some of the Lightning Collection figures as well of Tommy, where the first Green Ranger, he was very kind of, he had the green headband on where he looked like he'd just been training. And then again, the white one had like kind of the ponytail at the back, so he looked a bit more serious. And then the Red Zeal one had his hair down at the side, so he looked, I don't know, he looked really old. Then there's the Dino Thunder Black now with the short hair and the goatee. And then there was like the white metallic where it kind of almost looked anime. So yeah, we've had a lot of Tommy heads. These ones, I guess, fit into the standard long hair, cool Green Ranger, long hair and ponytail, more serious White Ranger. And again, the head looks nice. This one doesn't look dirty. I mean, actually it does on there. There's like a spot you might be able to see. I don't know if it's paint or if it is dirt, but it's strange that they are a little bit dirty. The head itself, I don't know, it feels very sort of narrow, like it's been squashed together. It's very like vertical, if you know what I mean. But it's still kind of nice. Like I like that. Maybe they didn't do this on purpose, but you have at least the white from the visor, and then these green teeth should be silver. That's something more that this figure does than the Lightning Collection one, even in the remastered, because in the remastered he doesn't have the white and silver, he just has silver, I think. And I think there's some argument that says, oh, well, actually, that figure is based off the American show, and in the American show, he did only have silver and not white, which is fair enough, I guess. But yeah, it's something that Hasbro missed with the first Green Ranger figure, and they did maybe purposefully miss with the second. Going down, like with the first Lightning Collection figure, they didn't paint the diamonds on. This one does have the diamonds on under the shield, and again, you saw how the shield comes off and on. Really straightforward. The arms themselves, the arms look a bit, I don't know, you might not be able to see it as clearly on stream, but it's kind of like two different shades of green. This one is a lot lighter. This one is a lot kind of like, it looks like this green was left out in the sun for too long, like almost like as if the color is faded off of the plastic, but I don't think that's the case. I think it's just a different plastic they use for the upper arms versus the lower arms. It's the same on the legs. So this green, yeah, it just feels different. Like it's just, or it just looks different. It's like a different shade of green, which, yeah, it's another thing that Hasbro tends to do in the Lightning Collection is have sections be slightly off color than the rest, which is quite annoying because, yeah, you want your characters or your figures to look uniform. But yeah, it's more or less the exact same as Tommy, but he has the Mighty Morphin. He has the Morpher there. You can kind of see it's supposed to be the Dragon Claw. You could argue it maybe looks more like the Rebellion symbol from Star Wars, or maybe like the Sikh symbol. But you can clearly read Power Rangers, which is nice. His articulation is the same. The arm goes up, it goes all the way around. It has a single elbow with a swivel. Hello, chat. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Yeah, it does it on this side as well. Then we have the head. And again, the heads get a little bit, I don't know if I'm doing it wrong, but yeah, so you have to push it. I see. Oh, you can't see that. You have to push it all the way in until it clicks. Then it does it automatically. With the original ones, they only did it one way. You had to like wind the head back, put it in the civilian head, and then yeah. Don't you think it's wild that this is like still a thing though? That this like how old this is? This is like 30 years old, this toy, and that this one is still more or less the same, and that we still, I don't know, there's still like a massive community for these shows, even though they're so old. And yeah, these toys are still being made. It just blows my mind a little bit because, like I said, through my childhood, my toy life revolved around these figures. So yeah, pretty wild. Tommy back then obviously had a nicer tan than this Tommy. Oh, come on. But yeah, it's kind of insane that we still have these toys and these ones. These ones, yeah, I really wish I had his shield. That was like, that's kind of the one thing, I don't know, you know, like when, like it might sound a bit daft, but you know, when like people retire, they get given like a Rolex or something. When I retire, I want like a mint Tommy green flip head, like in like graded 10 box with like the plastic around it. That's what I want as my retirement present. But yeah, back to the new Tommy. Again, he can do the Jean-Claude Van Damme. Pretty impressive. I would say damn impressive, actually. The legs and the crunch, you can see you can have him sat down if you want. I don't know why you would want him sat down, but you can have him sat down. The legs are kneeling, kind of. You can't really see, but yeah, you can get them to kneel. I remember posing with Kimberly once where she was kneeling down. And if we turn back, we put the shield back on. The shield looks nice. Yeah, it's just like an overlay there on top. It's a bit hard to get it exactly centered, just because of how, you know, I feel like it should be centered here, but it sits a little bit high on his shoulder, so it kind of wants to drop back, which is a little bit of a shame. So yeah, I mean, if you pick these up and you wanted to display them, maybe you would want to just glue it down, like if you're not planning to flip the heads. But yeah, it does kind of get stuck. Then of course we have his dragon dagger, which is just a piece of black plastic. Interesting that it's been made black. I think that would be the last color I choose to make it. I would make it either silver or green, but interesting that it's black. And he can hold his dagger. I highly doubt he's able to put it up to his mouth, but we can try. He definitely cannot because he doesn't have any mobility there on his shoulder, unfortunately, and because his chest is so wide. So we can just do some basic. And interestingly, this was a topic with Lightning Collection, is he comes with a blaster. And again, I think in that episode, the Green Candle episode, he did have a blade blaster, but for all of the other episodes he didn't. You can correct me if I'm wrong, which I probably am. But yeah, interesting that he comes with a blade blaster because I don't think he technically should. But yeah, we're not gonna complain too much. Just sit there, Is he gonna stand? He's not. Let's see if we can move his legs a bit. There we go. So yeah, you can see if I kind of go down. Whoops. You can see there. That's pretty much the extent of the posability. When I open Trini, I'm going to put all of them together and we'll have a proper look. I'll even go around with the gimbal and show you it. But I'm just going to quickly just go out and grab a drink because all of this talking is making my voice a little bit dry, or my throat a little bit dry whilst I do that. If you're in chat, make sure you write down what is your favorite colored Power Ranger, because I would love to know. So I'll be back in 2 seconds. So I'm back, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to open up my drink, and you guys have to guess what I'm drinking, okay? So make sure you listen carefully. All right, I don't want to do it too close to the mic, but have a listen. Okay, so guesses in the chat what I'm drinking. And Claudio writes in the chat that I'm guessing you're a he, but just in case of A, still have the Pink Ranger Automorpher from the 90s. What was the Automorpher? Is that the same as these? Is that what these were officially called? Because I always just called them flip heads. Or is the Automorpher I actually like the morphing thing? Which one do you mean, Claudio? Yeah, this, like I was saying, the 90s, the toys in the 90s were pretty wild. I remember I had Power Rangers, Action Men. I also remember having Gargoyles, and I love that NECA is bringing those back. Oh, it's already brought them back. I think they're like on wave 2 of the Gargoyles already, and they're looking to bring out more, which is awesome. Problem with those is the Gargoyles, they're quite big. And also, I feel like they take up quite a lot of space, like shelf space, because they have the wings, and the wings come out to like here. And I struggled to find space for my. I struggled to find space for my Lightning Collection figure. I need to upgrade my setup so that I have some nice shelves where I can show off more of the figures. And Claudio says yes, it is that one. Cool. Did you collect? Or do you still collect Power Ranger stuff, Claudio? Okay, good. Then we have one more to open up. Eye of Goliath. Ah, nice. Yeah, Goliath looks awesome, but yeah, like you say, he takes up a lot of space, which is a bit of a problem. And I'm and yeah, I don't know how easy it is to get NECA stuff in Austria. Like, I should maybe just look on Amazon, because sometimes I feel like Amazon has stuff that is just very unexpected. So maybe they have the gargoyle stuff there, because sometimes you see them at like gaming conventions or comic book conventions, but they're always so overpriced. Like, they're like really expensive here, because I guess people have to import them, which means, like, it costs extra to import them, so they have to add that to the final price of the figure. But yeah, maybe I can find them on Amazon. Cool, you collect Lightning Collection as well. Nice. Glad to know that there's more of us. Because yeah, I mean, obviously on YouTube I meet a lot of people that collect, and also on Reddit, but actually like, yeah, I know, at least in Austria, I feel like I'm one of the only Lightning Collection fans, because I don't know if Power Rangers was that popular here, or the Super Sentai. Like, I know it was obviously, and still is, really popular in the US, and Sentai is still really popular in Japan. But I don't know about Europe, if Power Rangers had such an effect as they did in the UK and in the US. Oh, she's stuck. Oh. Okay, so now we have Trini, and Trini, I think, has quite a nice head sculpt. I have actually my Automorpher here, as we've learned that they're called, and you bought it from Big Bad Toy Store from Chile without problems. That's good to know, because I was, the postage isn't that expensive for international postage, so I was thinking maybe trying to pick up because it's still really weird for us with Wave 15 here in Europe. Like, we can't, on Pulse, there's no pre-orders for Turbo Red or the other two. I can't remember what they're called, the blue guy and the yellow girl. But they're still, like, they're out in the US, and I think they're on Big Bag Toy Store. So I was thinking get stuff sent over. So yeah, that's good to know that if I do that. I was most like 6-inch stuff, but they also started making their own toys, and a bit like the what's it called, the Mezco situation I had. It was like I wanted to back one of the toys that they were producing, but the postage was like half of what it was to buy the toy, and I was like, yeah, that's a little bit much. So, but they also have pre-orders on Big Bad Toy Store. So if the postage isn't too high, then maybe I would just pre-order them from there and get them to send it over. But yeah, so like I said, we have the original Trini here, and we have the new Trini. And again, I feel like back in the 90s, everyone kind of had like a nice tan, because this and pink lips, because this Trini looks a lot whiter than this one. But you can see the upgrade and also the size comparison. They actually aren't that much bigger when you put them next to each other. Like, almost the same. They're a little bit wider here. Like, they aren't as tapered in as these ones are, and I think that's why they look so chunky, because it's just like block square, whereas these ones, it's more like square down to a triangle, so you just look a bit thinner. But yeah, if we go over Trini, like I said, she has a nice head sculpt with it gets across that it's Trini, so okay, fine. Then we go down to the helmet, or we go to the helmet, and the helmet looks really cool. And I think that the most inconsistent toy, like light, I always say Lightning Collection, but Power Ranger helmet is always the yellow. The yellow one always, every yellow figure I have, the helmet looks different on it. Like the original Lightning Collection, like, I think the teeth are really short. With the Super 7 one, the teeth are really big, and like the helmet is really tall compared to the rest of the body. The new Lightning Collection one, the remastered, looks quite good. And this one actually looks quite good as well. Like, it gets all of the main parts across. You can see the ears sticking out. You can see the teeth are quite nicely positioned and quite nicely centered. The mouth looks good. Again, the body, we've gone through the articulation, but we can do a T-pose. We can do elbow up. We can do the Jean-Claude Van Damme, and she goes even higher, to be honest, which is quite cool. We have the knee and swivel. And yeah, let's get her. What are these? I can't remember what these are called. What are these weapons called? I always forget them. But yeah, we can get weapons, and like I said, these, yellow makes sense. They're yellow. She's a yellow ranger. They should be, but Tommy's black one. Like I said, I get that there is black in this weapon, but I wouldn't have cast the whole thing in black. And I don't think back in the day they were all cast in black. They were actually all cast in gray, and that's kind of like the throwback. What? Maybe I have it here. Just one second. Okay, no. But the Super 7, the Super 7 Green Ranger, they came with like a selection of weapons. Oh god, this thing. Like, this is like the granddad of Green Rangers. Like, the way it moves, like the noises it makes, like every time I touch it, I feel like it's like a glass cannon, like it's just gonna fall apart. Yeah, I don't know if anyone else has got them. Like, it's a gorgeous looking figure. Like, maybe a little bit, its limbs are a bit long, but just the quality of the build is just pretty bad. Like, I feel like I need to like get WD-40 on all of its joints and then still just be mega careful. But yeah, like the quality of it looks great. Like, if you put it on a shelf in a pose that isn't too crazy, then he looks fantastic. But if you want to put it in any other type of pose, then you have to be really gentle. But yeah, what I wanted to say is that he came with the kind of 90s flip head accessory. So he had like the gold shiny shield. He had the weapons were all in gray, like the original ones. And yeah, it's kind of a cool throwback that they had. But yeah, I guess for the modern ones, the modern flip heads, they decided that they wanted to give them weapons, I guess, kind of similar to their colors. But actually, they're all quite inconsistent, to be honest. Like, Trini has yellow. Yeah, we can see the White Ranger has a white, Green Ranger has a black one, and then I'm looking at the other Rangers. They have white and gray and black, so quite inconsistent. But yeah, it doesn't matter too much. And I'm just wondering what kind of poses we can get her in, because I think out of all of the Power Rangers figures, all of the Power Rangers, I think the yellow is the coolest one to pose, because she has these two weapons, these two, they're not scythes, but you know what I mean. And you can kind of get one backhand, one forehand, and they look quite cool. Yeah, I also prefer Lightning Collection to Super 7. Like, I was, like, excuse the pun, but I was super excited to get the Super 7 figures. I got the Green Ranger and I got the Yellow Ranger. Let me just show you them again. Just get her positioned. Yeah, I was super excited to get them. Pre-ordered, waited for I think like a year, and yeah, just opened them up. And again, like, the Green Ranger is okay from a looks perspective. Like I said, like, he might be a little bit tall, but what I like is he feels like a person inside a suit, which I think Lightning Collection doesn't do. Lightning Collection always, it feels just like this is a suited person, not like an actual human being inside. Like, and I think that kind of shows here mostly with how big his head looks, because it looks like there is an actual head inside the helmet. But yeah, like, just we're opening him up, like I said, like, just trying to get him posed is just non-existent. Like, it's so scary to do. And then also I tried to switch out the arms, so I wanted to put him in like the 90s, like I said, like the shiny gold shield, and they even gave you like extra arms, which is really, really cool. And I tried to remove the hand, and I just gently pulled the hand and it just snapped off the peg. And then that was when I was like, okay, no more. Like, I'm not gonna mess around with these figures. They're too brittle, they're too kind of finicky. Yellow was a little bit better. Like, I remember being able to get the head off, and I put the Trini head on and the Aisha head on, and did some other stuff with yellow. But to be honest, the yellow figure just doesn't look right. There's just something about the proportions that look off. Like, I did a video called which is better between remastered yellow and Super 7 Ultimates yellow. And yeah, I mean, I don't want to spoil the video too much in case you want to watch it. But if you're a Lightning Collection collector, I think you'll know which one came out on top. But yeah, which is it's kind of sad because I was like, I think the Super 7 ones, the price range isn't too bad, especially now that the Lightning collection is getting more and more expensive. Like I feel like every figure is more expensive than the last for whatever reason. At least for me here in Austria, like I said, like we here it's a little bit of a wild west about toy collecting. Like sometimes you can find stuff really randomly cheap, and sometimes you just find stuff extremely expensive for no apparent reason. And especially with Lightning collection, because like I said, I don't think Power Rangers was that as popular here as it was in America and the UK. So it's like I said, it's a little bit random sometimes, like what you can find and what price it is. And a lot of it as being a collector is just kind of waiting and seeing, like, okay, I want this figure. It's currently, I don't know, 2 times more expensive than it is in America. Yeah, maybe I should wait, and then you can wait for maybe a sale, or you wait for Black Friday or whatever, or Prime Day. Then you can get it like half the price of the regular price. So that's kind of what it's like. What I'm currently doing that with now is the Time Force Blue Ranger, because the Time Force Blue Ranger has the bike. I think the cheapest I've seen it so far is €45, which isn't that bad. But I want to wait, until like I said, until maybe Black Friday or some other kind of sale on Amazon, because I think I can find it a little bit cheaper. And I've also seen in the UK they have In Demand Toys, which is like an independent toy store. They have 2 of the Wave 15s up. They have the yellow and the Blue Ranger. So I'm thinking I might get those first because they're kind of newer, and and then, like I said, wait for the Blue Ranger to go on sale, and see if I can get it for around, I don't know, 35 or 30. That would be ideal. But yeah, let's see. My Time Force Red review just went up. Did okay. If there's a lot of response in the comments that people want to see the Blue Ranger, then of course I would kind of bump him up in my priorities, so that I can show you guys him on the review, because it is kind of cool. It is kind of cool having a vehicle, because I haven't bought any Lightning collection yet with a vehicle. I don't know if you have any yet, Claudio. But yeah, I agree with what you just said, that it's best to just wait and see when stuff goes on sale, or unless there's a character you really want. That was the thing I did with the Omegas. I don't know if you've pre-ordered the Omegas already, or maybe already have them, but those guys, I was like, oh my god, I'm so excited for them. Like I even bought what's he called, Astron. Hang on, I can look. 1 second. Astronomer. I even bought Astronomer and the Ecliptor 2-pack, because they are in the Omega comic books. And I was like, okay, I'm going to get these because I got them quite cheaply. And and then the Omegas kind of leaked and then got announced and got put up on Hasbro US. They didn't get put on Hasbro Europe, so I was like, oh my god, really? They're not going to release them in Europe? That would be like heartbreaking, because they are very cool, like it's a very cool comic, but 2, like the figures just look unreal. I can't believe how good the figures look. Like they just looks a world apart from all of the other Lightning collection stuff that's been coming out recently. Like I don't know if Boom Studios maybe has more of a say in how the figures look, but they just look really awesome. The camera's gonna shake for a second, guys. I just have to unplug something. There we go. Yeah, they just look really good. So I'm looking forward to those Omegas. So it'll be interesting to know if you've got them already. But yeah, here is the full lineup then. So now we have all of the flip heads, or the automorphers. And like I said, it's very, very reminiscent or very nostalgic to see these. Like I said, I have the originals here. I only have black, I have yellow, Yellow, I have green, and I have red. I don't think I showed you red yet. So this is how Jason looks back in the day. And again, I don't think it's that bad of a head sculpt. And the Red Ranger. So yeah, you can see the kind of comparisons. Oh my god. I knew that was going to happen. Knew it was going to happen. All right, let's see if I can stand them back up. These at least are quite easy to stand up once they fall over because they have such flat feet. Come on, Zach, do me a favor. Oh no, it's like dominoes. All right, I need to put the feet back on the gimbal, and then yeah, absolute chaos. Absolute chaos. This is the life of being a toy collector. Whether it happens when you're trying to do a video or when you try to like slightly adjust something on a shelf, you knock one over, and they go down like dominoes. And Claudio's saying that they're very happy with the Astronomer and Eclipse 2-pack, and the In Space is one of their favorite series. I was also really happy. I'm going to be completely honest, I didn't watch In Space. I just knew the characters because of the Boom comics for the Omegas. But yeah, that's kind of what's really cool for me right now. Is I got into collecting Lightning Collection because of Mighty Morphin, and I spent, I don't know. So yeah, here you can see the comparison. I spent probably like a year chasing those first Mighty Morphin figures. So like the originals from like wave, I don't know, 1 to 5. And that was kind of like the fun, I guess, of collecting them, to be like, all right, I want these figures. I want to get this team because this is the team that I grew up with or which I originally saw. And then basically, like, it took me a year, and then in the meantime, I started collecting other teams, kind of like I did Zeo, I started Dino Thunder, I started I had some of the bad guys. I bought like Time Force, like I bought a lot of additional figures, and just never really opened them because I was so focused on doing Mighty Morphin, and because Mighty Morphin, at least on YouTube, always does really, really well, because I guess it's, you know, the oldest one, it's the original one. It's a bit like the first 150 Pokemon. Like, no matter how good the new Pokemon are, people are always nostalgic for the originals because a lot of the fan base grew up with them. And yeah, there'll just always be people that are only kind of interested in those original Pokemon. And I guess it's the same for Power Rangers. And yeah, so, oh my god. So on YouTube, Mighty Morphin always does really well. And yeah, so I kind of opened them up, reviewed them. It took a while, and now I'm kind of like through the backlog. Like I finished. I also did all of the remastered figures, so they're all up on the channel. And now I'm kind of like, okay, now I can get into like the figures that I don't know, like the figures that I didn't really grow up watching, and I'm really liking it because there's so much. I don't know, the Mighty Morphin team. Obviously, they're very simple. Like the bodies are all, for the men are always the same. The bodies for the women are always the same, and then it's just a helmet in different colors, and then you get green and white with shields, of course. But I know everything, and I know all of the weapons. But like, yeah, like with Astronomer and Ecliptor, like I was like, okay, I know they're from In Space. I don't really know their characters other than outside of the comics. And I was just like, yeah, God, they're such like cool looking like characters. Like the character design is awesome. Like, and like then when you look at the details of Andromeda, like the little kind of necklace she has, and then the earrings and stuff like that, like just such nice detail on these figures, which are maybe lesser known figures and maybe ones I would never have usually picked up. And so now it's really cool for me to kind of go through that backlog and be like, like I said, I opened up the Time Force Red Ranger. I really liked him. I opened up today the Ranger Slayer figure, which again I've had sat on my shelf for probably 2 years now. And opened her up, and I was like, God, this is such a nice figure. So I'm slowly making my way through my backlog. I'm planning on adding In Space to my collection. I think In Space is going to be like the new for me, the new version of collecting the Mighty Morphin figures, because yeah, like there is the whole team is out, but they've been out for a while now, so like finding them all is going to be a little bit difficult. But I kind of like that challenge. That was what was fun. The fun getting into the Lightning collection for me. So I think InSpace might be like next year. Might be the team that I try to chase down, especially they also have like the Blue Ranger has the glider. I think that's really cool to try and get. And then I think there's a Red Ranger set with another version of Andromeda, which is also really cool. So yeah, I might do that. There's also the Red Ranger in like hiding with the cloak, which is nice because I really like the soft goods, and you don't see that very much in the Lightning collection. So that is my plan for next year. But yeah, guys. So yeah, I think I'm gonna end the stream here. I had a lot of fun opening these up, and I had a lot of fun chatting to you. So thank you, Claudio, for your comments, and also from Mega Demon for being part of the chat. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed the live stream. Like I said, I'm planning on doing more live streams because, as I said at the start of the live stream, I need to get my hours watched higher. So maybe I need to get to 4,000. I'm currently at about 1,000, and apparently one way to do that is to do that quickly is to do more live streams. So I would like to do more in the future. If you guys have any plans or like anything you would like me to actually live stream, like one thing I do want to do is build this knockoff Lego set again. The first one wasn't the best, to be honest. I did the Megazord, but this is just like some cheap Lego knockoff. I did the Megazord, and it was a pain in the ass because I spent so long setting up. So I think my plan next time would be to lay out all of the Lego on the table first, and then just start the stream and start building instead of doing that. So that's one idea I had for another stream. But yeah, if anyone has any other ideas, yeah, just let me know what you want to see, and I'll try and make it happen. But yeah, Claudio, thank you very much, and yeah, thanks so much for tuning in and watching. Also, thank you everyone else for watching. It's been a lot of fun opening up these figures, and yeah, we will see you again next time. The next video goes out on Monday. So it is an SH figure. That's what I can show you. Give me 1 second. I'll give you a little tease for what Monday's video is. Okay, I just have to prepare something. Give me 1 second. But yeah, there's like a little story behind this figure. When I was in Japan, I saw it and I was like, oh, I'm gonna buy this figure. But when I saw it, we just got to Japan, we just got to Tokyo, and I was like, all right, I'm not gonna carry the box around for 3 weeks. I'll come back because I knew we were coming back to Tokyo at the end of our trip. So I was like, I'll come back and pick it up then, and then I don't have to carry it around for 3 weeks, right? Got back 3 weeks later. It's completely sold out of it, and I was just like, oh my god, my entire holiday is ruined now. Like, I was so looking forward to opening up this figure or to buying this figure, and it's not there. To be honest, I don't know why I was so excited for it, because I'm not really a big fan. And here is the figure. So this is the SH Figuarts Shin Kamen Rider figure. Like obviously SH Figuarts, like I said, it has the soft goods. Okay, I better put his arm down. That probably isn't the best. And yeah, I just love how he looked, like in this big black overcoat. It's wired. It's SH Figuarts, so it feels very premium. And yeah, it's just a cool looking figure. Sorry, it's a bit blurred. But yeah, this is the Shin Kamen Rider. But yeah, guys, thanks so much for watching. I hope you have a great rest of your weekend, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.